Welcome back to Approved AF Podcast. I am your host, Andy, better known as Just Ask Andy. Today we're going to feature Chandra Gore, who started her business at the age of 18. She assists with business foundation consulting and PR. Today she's going to be dropping gems about how to get registered, licensed, pitch, and publish to the world for profit. Make sure you have your pen and paper together, and let's get into this interview.
Now I got black cards, good credit and such. Paid boy, cause I'm all grown up.
Hey guys, what's up? It's Just Ask Andy. We are on my podcast. It's called Approved AF. So today we have Miss Gore here that's going to tell us a little bit about her business, what she do in her business, and how she can get you approved AF with her company.
Thank you so much for having me. My name is Chandra Gore. I am the principal consultant and publicist for Chandra Gore Consulting. It is a boutique business foundation consulting firm and public relations. My job is to get your brand together, get your business together, and then get you to the masses. I specialize in small, medium, and large businesses, nonprofits, and also small brands like authors. I also publish books as well and put together media runs for that. I'm also the founder of a comedy and film festival, an Amazon series that's coming called They Said What through my production company, and also a community organization. So I am a multifaceted entrepreneur, but my main baby is my business consulting and public relations firm. So I'm excited to talk to Andy today to share more about what I do and how I can elevate your brand.
Nice. Yes, you are multitasking in business, baby. This
Yes.
is amazing. Let's see, we got small, medium, and large companies, nonprofit, an author, publisher, a film. Oh my God, the film is going to be called They Say What? Oh, look, this is the right time to be on this podcast called Approved AF. So, Chandra, go ahead and tell us, tell us a little bit more about your industry with the business consulting and branding and why you chose that niche.
I did not choose to be a business consultant. It chose me. I actually started out at 18 years old. I've always cooked, so I had a full service catering and event planning service at 18. And in learning how to do that, I was always researching how to make sure my business was licensed properly and how to register and things like that. So I ended up using that knowledge that I had and talking to my friends and helping them launch businesses. But it became, I worked with the founder of a dating service. He actually brought me under his wing. Between my father and him, they actually were kind of grooming me to be a mogul in a way, because my dad had multiple businesses, and then my first job outside of high school was with a business owner who actually owned luxury car dealerships. He opened them up, and he actually owned a dating service, and so he would actually let me open the different. I actually assisted him in opening different offices, looking at markets and stuff like that at 18. So, and then from there, when I entered into the other workforce, I began to hear people, and I would hear their dreams, and it's like in my head, I can envision exactly what path they need to take to get their business and where it would end up in 5 or 10 years. So that's where I got my business consulting acumen from, like just talking to people and being able to put 2 and 2 together and help them launch their businesses. I got into public relations because I had a client who needed to get on the news. So I did the research and went ahead, and I was always great at persuasive writing. And I had another mentor when I was working at a educational, we used to make courses for the government. So we had to write pitches and write proposals so that people could buy our classes. So my persuasive writing got more built up. So I was able to write pitches and tell people why they needed to have this person on the news. So from there, that's where I ended up being able to pitch and land non-conventional people on the news because of the way I wrote. I made it interesting. So that's where I continued to use my strategic mind to do that. And it was one of those things like, it just happened by happenstance, and I realized that I love it. I was behind the scenes. I was curating things. I was writing the questions so my clients would not be blindsided when they got on the news. So it actually helped a whole lot for me to be able to do that. And so that's where, oh gosh, I could actually say I've actually navigated and gotten to places that a lot of people would take them years to get to. It only took me a couple of months. Because, I when I'm focused on something, I have no choice but to go for it. Like, I will not let anything stop me.
Okay, so that goes into me. Of course, I got some questions. I know the
Yes.
I'm like, wait a minute. She did what for her clients? So you said you pitched to the news stations to get your clients on the news station, right?
Yeah.
So let's talk about pitch, the importance of pitch. Like, what type of pitch would you send out if you were someone listening to this podcast? What type of pitch would they send out to try to get on the news?
So they would actually have to look at exactly what they what is the message they want to convey, and then step outside themselves and look at exactly what how it would appeal to somebody if they were talking to them face to face. So when you're pitching via writing, you have to write it so that when the person clicks on to open that email, they are automatically interested. It's one of those things that you have to have the right subject line, and you also have to know when to pitch, because all producers and all newspapers and stuff, they have deadlines and they have a timeline. So you could actually look and see when they actually publish their articles or publish, when certain news stories are going to be picked up. You can look at how the news is, being done. So you actually, it's perfect timing and also perfect writing. So the main thing is crafting the correct pitch so that somebody else will want to look at it. Like, how would you want somebody to present something to you? Let's say if you want to, there's a grand opening of a restaurant, you will want to pitch that at least 2 weeks out. You would also want to put incentives for the news outlet to want to be a part of that. Like, we will, give you, make sure you have dinner, make sure you have a special space. Like, you actually make it worth their while to actually do that. So that's okay. Yeah.
Listen, that little tidbit that you gave is amazing. Like, how many people?
Yeah, I'm giving y'all some keys there. Yeah.
Gems, you are dropping them today. Like, I don't know if you guys who listening caught what she was stating, but she told you the what, the when, and the how. The what was the subject line. When to pitch, you need to do it at least 2 weeks out prior to a story that's getting ready to drop. And how do you plan on doing that? By giving them the right message in the email so they can pick you up. Like, Chandra, that was some golden nuggets, right?
Yes.
And see, that's what makes you unique in the business that you're in. You got to understand your lane. You got to understand how to actually bring the greatness out of a client that you have. And that's amazing. Like you said, you do the business part, you do the PR part. You also can get them connected with the nonprofit, make them an author, make sure they're published. And if they're trying to get in film, you might can get them in that too. But the key part that I really like that you said, you're the behind the scenes person. And that's what makes you so unique, because you can do your part of the craft and make someone else be so much brighter in their life. So I don't know if I missed it, but how long have you been in business?
Oh, wow. So I started my consulting firm legitimately, 6-7 years ago. Okay. I've been in public relations, I'd say about 4. Because I did have a regular job. Up until last year. I left my position to focus on my businesses. But yeah, I've always had a regular job, that 9 to 5. But my 9 to 5 was just as demanding as my businesses. So that workaholic all the time was that. And I was okay with that. but yeah, like I think I've been working hard, grinding for years. I closed my catering company when my dad passed away. He got sick, so I took some time off from having my own business for a little bit. But then I jumped right. You know, sometimes being an entrepreneur is something that you can't ever walk away from. So I kept going. I had to get back into things. So yeah, that is the biggest key. Yep.
So tell us about the part of leaving your 9 to 5 to now be in the niche that you're in now. That is so important.
Yeah. So I was I was a board liaison for a couple of years, and it was a very demanding job. I traveled all the time, and I used to pray about it. And I was like, you know what, if I walk away, I've made the connections I need to make, but it was very demanding and stressful as a toxic situation. And so when they were restructuring and I saw the writing on the wall, I was like, this is my time to go. So when they sat me down, they were like, well, you know, we restructured and stuff. I said, I'm fine, I'm happy. I was happy about my severance pay. I was good. It gave me exactly what I needed when I needed it, because I was already planning my exit. And God has a way of nudging you, but then he has a way of kicking you out the boat. And that was the kick out the boat to do something that I loved, to do something that I needed to focus on. Like I was able to spend time with my family and able to focus and build my brand the way that it should have been built. It was something that I was tiptoeing on, and God was like, you keep tiptoeing, I'm gonna throw you out there in the middle of the ocean and make you do it. And that's exactly what happened. And that was the most liberating experience that I had when they were like, you know, we're downsizing and we're restructuring and, you know, your position has been phased out. I started smiling. I was just happy. And, you know, most people, when they're told something like that, they cry. I was so ecstatic. Like, that was the best thing that ever happened to me. Like, I had already been saving money and, you know, positioning myself, you know, so that I could I would be able to put in my 2 weeks notice. And they actually paid me and actually gave me the boost that I needed. Like, it was such a great experience to transition to being a full-time entrepreneur. Not a lot of people have that experience, but I was so blessed to have it. I was so blessed to be able to have that. Most people just, yeah.
No, it's good. That's why I was letting you talk, because I like the key point that you said. You know what? I felt, I had the feeling, and that's what people miss, that gut feeling that telling you, hey, it's time to move. It's time to do something.
Mm-hmm.
So in the course of that, you said, you know what? I just prayed about it. Now, after I prayed about it, when they was getting ready to start saying, hey, it's time to make a shift, you already understood, because you was ready for the shift, not only physically, but mentally as well. But what made it even better, you start taking actions of that shift. And that is so important. People miss the part of, you know what's about to happen. Instead of getting upset and, you know, want to cry, want to do all this and the third, you understood it. Okay, well, this is happening. What's next? It's the idea, it's the plan of action, and the execution part of what you just did. That's amazing.
Yeah, listen, when my boss left, I was like, yep. I said, let me get myself together. Yep, I was like, let me get myself together, because that was the main catalyst for me wanting to leave, because you know how somebody will put you through hell so much, and then when the truth comes out and they realize it wasn't you, it was them the whole time, and the veil has been pulled back. I was like, oh, okay, now y'all want to be nice to me. I said, you know what? I had been planning. You don't understand. I had my whole petty walk out together and everything, and God has a way of saying, you ain't got to do all that, baby. Let me go ahead and give you a gift to get, because I was about to be petty. I was going to walk out like a Vegas showgirl. Look, I don't need this. I've been ready to go. And God was like, no, baby, we're going to say that petty for another day. I was like, ooh, y'all was about to get it.
Well,
they were going to get it.
So your petty part was actually you're thriving in your business. That's the petty part. So
that was the petty, because
introduce your business again. So if someone else just come into the podcast, haven't heard everything, go ahead and say what your business is again.
My business is business consulting and public relations.
Okay. And what's the company name?
It's Chandra Gore Consulting.
Okay, nice.
Yeah.
So I'm not gonna try to take up all your time. I mean, you dropped the little time we did have. You already dropped so many gems. So tell us, how do you consider being approved in business, and how did you get approved?
I feel that being approved in business is doing something that you love, giving it your all, and operating in integrity, and giving people exactly what they need. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how you are approved. You gotta walk in your purpose. There's no other way around it. You can't be approved unless you are standing tall in what you're supposed to be doing. If you're doing something you don't love, then you're not approved. You gotta love what you do before you can even do it. So that's my take on what approved in business is.
Nice. I like that. You gotta love what you're doing to be approved.
Yes.
So, okay, tell us how others can get approved in their life, like what you're doing, in your opinion.
First, I would say, look at what you're doing. Look at what you're doing and find something that you love that can actually help others. Because it has to have a duality. It has to be helpful and solve a problem with people. It also has to be something that you love. And once you find that, then don't focus on making money. Focus on building and making sure that you're doing something that is mutually beneficial for everybody. I'm telling you, when you do something that you love and something that's helping others, trust me, the money will come. You will always be taken care of. Everything will be fine. So if you are sitting on a book that you want to write and you know that your story can change somebody, write it. If you're sitting on a product or a service that you can provide, go out and do it. This is the time to do it now. Everybody on punishment. You in the house, you ain't got nothing but time to think and you know what I'm saying, and launch those things that you've been wanting to work on. So go ahead and do those things. I'm telling you, it will change your life and the way that you look at things. So, if you want to be approved and you want to do something, that's the way to go about it. You ain't got nothing but time now. You have no excuses. Do it now and don't wait. Time waits for no man.
Exactly. You better come in and give these good old gems and this action plan for these people that want to be approved AF. All right, cool. Well, thank you so much for being on our podcast.
You are welcome. Thanks for having me. I love your energy.
You're so welcome. Everyone that is listening, this is Andy. You can follow me on Just Ask Andy on Instagram and Facebook. You are now listening to Approved AF. We are going to give you way more companies just like Chandra company to give you information on the gems of how to be approved. If you have any questions, you can leave us an email also at approvedpodcast@gmail.com. Thank you so much for your time, and we'll see you guys later. Thank you. Just a reminder, thank you for listening to Approved AF Podcast. Make sure you like, subscribe, and leave a 5-star review. If you by chance have a Twitter account, make sure you follow us at Approved AF. On Thursdays, you could be featured on Who Tried It episodes if you hashtag Who Tried It with your explanation. Again, thanks for listening to Approved AF Podcast. Make sure you click the link under this segment so you can get the latest updates, challenges, and even events that we're hosting. Also, remember, we have options that equal opportunities. So when the opportunity comes, we have options. Stay approved AF.